The madness has certainly begun. Welcome to March. We're all about hoops here on today's edition of Sports Den, the last edition of Sports Den before we get into our player edition shows, the next two programs to close out the winter season. Ted LaRue alongside Matt Dean here today. And if you are a fan of the Baby Blues, if you are a fan of Blaine basketball, girls and boys, this is certainly the show for you.
Oh, I mean, what a year it's been, right? Blaine sitting on some notable state tournament droughts on the hardwood. We'll kind of get into that, but girls team, fantastic game that we had a chance to be a part of on Thursday in Forest Lake. We got another great game coming up this week as Blaine boys basketball are right on the cusp of making it to the state tournament. So yeah, let's kick off the show with last Thursday's section final as we get into the highlights. The Blaine Bengals traveling to Forest Lake for the 7-4A championship game to go to state. 17 years ago, the last time that Blaine girls hoops have been to state. Senior Savannah Pent finding Aubrey Holtman, the fellow 12th grader committed to Concordia St. Paul, hits from deep and put the Rangers out in front early. Ellie Beckman off the transition handoff. She knows that's a shorter three from that spot. Blaine wrestled control 11-7 early. The Rangers like to play in the half court, but found some transition moments. Kendall Damon, another Division II commit, made it a one-point game. With a name like Alexis Earhart, you know she's going to air it out. Hit that one to tie it at 26. 8th grader Ilea Zarate put the maroon and gold back in front with a three. Bree Cummings cast it off and canned it. More to come in this one from a spectacular game from the junior. Senior Natty Berry always wreaks havoc with her hustle. Lost the handle on the hairstyle, but not the rock. A steal and score and one. She'd finish off a three-point play. Cummings connected on her second tray of the game. It would help Blaine close the half on a 13-2 run. They led 41-31 at the break. Senior Natalie Krutzig splashed from downtown 5 minutes into the second. It was back to a 5-point game. Amelia Ritchie, the sophomore, with a crucial three. She finished with 17 points, and the three-point shot kept falling. Cummings automatic in the section final. She started 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. And you knew it was the Bengals' night after this shot. The bank's open for Natty Berry, makes a deposit for Blaine's largest lead of the night at 17 with 6.5 to go. Holtman did her best to try to mount a comeback for Forest Lake, but Cummings, have yourself a game. The queen of Blaine High School on Friday, roll out the red carpet for the junior who was 4 of 4 from beyond the arc, finished with 17. Blaine beat the 2-seed Centennial last week. They knock off the 1-seed Forest Lake and break a 16-year state tournament drought as 7-4A champs.
I feel like the intensity that we had, the connection we've had with each other throughout the season, that really helped lead us to tonight and to get this win.
And your coach talks about your defense being suffocating. Can you talk about what's going through your head when you're on defense searching to find that loose ball?
Honestly, I'm just thinking, don't go for every single steal that I have, because sometimes they might fake and blow past me. And if they do, just sprint back, and I know that my teammates have my back if I do get beat.
I just pregame talk to myself, and I tell myself that I can do this. I have confidence, and the ball's going in the hoop.
So do you look in the mirror, or are you just playing that in your head as you're going through warm-ups? How do you do it?
During the national anthem, I just tell myself that I got this, and I am a shooter, and I'm kind of better than everyone else, so I can have confidence for that.
Yeah, no, it does help, that self-talk,
yeah.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. And also, when you're stepping out there on the court, you've been able to get your hands in there, find some of those steals. How important was that tonight for you to be able to help solidify this one?
It was really important because our team really needed our defense tonight, and I felt like we all had the energy and we communicated and we got those steals.
How fun has it been to watch this team play offensive basketball, knocking down all of those threes, and then also the 9-1 record since January 27th. This is a team that has gotten hot at the right time. They are playing their best basketball right now as section champions. They also won the conference this year, Matt. Just a joy to watch what Alex Wallace has done in his first year as head coach.
Yeah, doing it with a first-year head coach, as you said, Blaine's first state tournament trip since way back in 2009. Twice since that year going to state. They have lost in the section finals, fell to rivals Blaine in 2023, lost to Andover in 2015, but they're here and 21 wins. That might be a Blaine record. It's the most for the girls program in at least the last 20 years. They're headed to the state tournament, and I think just tremendous buy-in from the team, from Coach Walls, getting everybody kind of pulling all in the same direction. This is really a kind of starless Blaine team. Any player can pop off for a big game in any given night. It was Cummings in the section final. It was Amelia Ritchie, but so often it's just 10 players rolling through. That makes them dangerous with the energy and the depth they come at you with. So it'll be fun to watch them at the state tournament this week.
And there's some young players on this team. There's some sophomores on this team that are going to be playing for the next couple of years under Alex Walls. So the future is certainly bright. Alyssa Schloman is a sophomore that has been able to go off and really get hot from outside as well this season. So maybe more state tournament appearances in the future. But as of right now, let's focus on this state tournament, the upcoming girls basketball state 4A tournament. Blaine draws the number 8 seed. They'll take on perennial superpower Hopkins, the champions of Section 6. That is in the first round. The quarterfinals on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Williams Arena in Minneapolis on the campus of the U of M. The Royals are the defending state champions. They also won in 2022. They were on pace to win it with Paige Beckers in 2020 before that tournament got canceled due to COVID-19 after the semifinals. Hopkins 25-2 this season. Their only losses, Wayzata on January 23rd. They came back to beat the Trojans in the section title game. They also lost to Caitlin Clark's alma mater, Dowling Catholic from Iowa. That was on November 29th at White Bear Lake High School. So they've only lost to one team that plays in the state of Minnesota this entire year. The Royals feature 3 scorers, averaging over 15 points per game. You're talking about Irma Walker, Delia Diggs, and Ava Cupido. Certainly a tough draw, I think, is one way to say it, going into the state tournament for the Blaine Bengals. Now let's switch over to the boys on the hardwood. Section playoffs began on Tuesday. In Section 5, 6-seeded Spring Lake Park traveling to the Rebel Hill to take on 3rd-seeded Champlain Park. Rebels were rolling early. Nicholas Keenan standing on a corner north of Winslow, Arizona, and he's got a double-digit lead in his mind. Already a 21-point lead midway through the first. Nolan Myron looking to give SLP a little bit of rocket fuel. Charlie Howe had 6 points in this game, and they came on these back-to-back bombs. Navy Blues had led by 3 touchdowns. When I said they were rolling, man, they were rolling. Cal Spencer getting in on the fun here for the Panthers. Stayed behind the line like Moonlight Graham before the hot dog incident. Spencer tallied 18. A lot of focus was on Myron. Rightfully so. Dishes to the corner. Spencer again. Lead cut to 14, under 2 to go until half. But Gavin Walters suits up as the fun police, stopping the SLP surge. He led the Rebels with 18. Serves up Spencer from the volleyball line. Second half now. Myron to Spencer. Stop me if you've heard that one before. Cal Berkeley Spencer cuts the deficit to 13. Myron this time keeping the rock. Hoop and the harm. Now it's down to 12. And the answer, Musa Deculti, one of 5 double-digit scores for CP. He finished with 12. Cal Spencer, he just kept on firing, and he just kept on hitting. 14-point game with about 8 to go. He's putting the team on his back, though, like Greg Jennings. Another 3 cuts to 12 with under 7 to play. But the Rebels always knew how to respond. Kyler Puss, 2 of his 11. Peerless Davis working hard inside. He also had 11. And the Panther season ends with an 83-64 defeat at the hands of Champlain Park. Boy, Section 5 4A really reminds us of the good old days when we were out on the sidewalk as kids writing some with those big old sticks of chalk, because it has been all chalk with some lopsided games in the quarterfinals as well as the semifinals. I mean, you look at the Crimson of Maple Grove, the number 1 seed in this section, allowing just 41 points in each of their 2 games against 8-seeded Park Center and 4-seeded Mounds View, scoring 76 and 77 respectively. So it has been very smooth for the Crimson thus far. They're going to take on 2-seed Mounds View in the Section 5 championship game. That will go down Friday night, 7 p.m. At Maple Grove High School. And this kind of wraps up the season, Matt, for the Spring Lake Park Panthers. And this was a really fun team to watch. You know, they finished just above 500 when all is said and done. But when they were on, they were really on. And Nolan Myron's such a fun player to watch here in the area.
Yeah, just a smooth score, never seems in a hurry, and Fantastic senior season for him, averaging 27 a game. Panthers went on that 8-game winning streak that, we're showing up here day after Christmas till late January, but they would finish just 4-9 down the stretch. But overall, improving on their win total, 4 better than last season. Myron, heck of a year, averaging 27 a game. He'll be a key senior departure, leaving the Panthers next season. But Jacob DePoint, Cal Spencer, who you saw go off in that section, the playoff game for the Panthers, Nolan Roach, all returning as key. They will be seniors next year, all in the backcourt for Spring Lake Park. Panthers losing a lot of size and a lot of scoring, though, with that big name Myron, who's headed to the Northern Sun. Really good Division II basketball league. He'll be playing for the Bemidji State Beavers next year.
It's going to be really fun to see what he does at the college level. He's got that length and athleticism. He can go behind the arc. He can go inside. He's kind of got that all-around game, of course, that basketball has shifted into here over the last 5 to 7 years or so. Now let's go to Section 7. 7th-seeded Centennial traveling to 2nd-seeded Andover. Can the Cougars repeat last season's March Magic? Let's find out. Huskies with the early tilt. How about let's give that tilt a whirl? Joseph Mapson from downtown pushes the Husky lead to 4. Mapson again. He led all scores with 23. Andover leads by 7. Now a 10-point cushion. Brady Anderson cuts it to single digits. But it didn't last long. Eli Ahlstrom pushes the Andover lead to 13. He had 9 plus 11 rebounds. Wes Kukkonen nails the 3 to keep the Cougars hanging around. You're going to hear more of that name, trust me. Mapson to Ahlstrom, working the combo on the wing early in the second half. 14-point lead. Kukkonen, another 3 from the top of the key, cuts it to 11. Now a 9-point game. Kukkonen making his presence felt for the red and white. Cougars within 6. Andover plus 10 now. Mapson trying to force it up, but Mike Field sneaks past everyone for the tip in there on the backside. Tristan Hansen stepping outside. Man, it's warm out here in this false spring. This deficit down to 9 with 11 minutes to go. Point your finger at the map, son, and we'll go there. Joseph Mapson again from outside. The long lost Hansen brother, well, maybe he's a little young. Regardless, it's down to 9 there from Tristan. Caden Ressler in transition pulls up, buries a 3. He had 17 and 4 steals. Kukkonen doing his best to keep this one under double digits. That'll work. Once again, Andover lead down to 9. Now it's to 7. Colton Miller finds the ball. 9-point lead for Andover. Stop me if you've heard that before. Kukkonen for 3. Stop me if you've heard that before as well. Ressler with a physical drive pushes the lead to 8. Now at 10. Guess who? It's engine number 2. Cutting it to 7 with a minute to play. But Ressler finishes the job at the line, and the Cougars fall short 69-61 and bow out in the section quarterfinals.
On the other side of the bracket in the 7-4A semifinals, the top seed Blaine in action against Forest Lake, a rematch of a 75-50 Bengal win back in December. Senior DJ Westman rising up and connecting for the Ranger triple, but Shiloh Aide hold up right there to respond with his own trifecta, and that broke a 3-minute field goal drought early for Blaine. Westman again nearly stripped, but Westman again would score from beyond the arc. Tula Gimta with the 3-point stroke here for Blaine, and the senior not just benefiting from his own shot, but the vision of Shiloh Aite. Gets it down the floor, easy lay-in for 2 that time for Gimta. Connor Johnson, that's a 3, son. Rangers led 19-12, 7 minutes into the contest here in the first, and Johnson would stay hot. Another hit from distance. The Rangers opened up a 26-16 lead with 8 to play in the first half. Forest Lake found Westman, who cast it off over Gavin Weir for the closeout. Blaine had just 17 points, trailed by 14 with inside 5 to go till the break. And the threes kept falling for the Forest Lake Rangers. Junior Jarrett Cooper with the 7th made triple before the break for Forest Lake. Henry Siemens would stop the bleeding, get the crowd back into it with Blaine's 3rd. Gimta slashing. 9th grader Aiden Lavick cleans the offensive glass for the finish. Owen Clark with a strip, a steal, and a score. That would make it an 8-point game just before halftime. On to the second, Westman attacking. He led Forest Lake with over 20 in this one. And Siemens, who got the Bengals going with a late 3 in the first, picked up right where he left off here in the second half. These two teams continued to trade buckets. Blaine would get hot from 3. Forest Lake continuing to drill it from downtown, but Blaine would eventually pull in command here in this game. DJ Westman, his big game kept going. Siemens would stay molten hot from three. The Baby Blue sophomore led all scorers with 21 in this game. Bengals went on a 37-21 late first to 6.5 go in the second, and Blaine erupts for over 50 in the second half to advance to the section final.
No, we didn't get off to the start that we probably wanted to, but I know every single one of our guys stuck together. We know we can come back. We've come back from 25 this season, so we knew 13 wasn't that much. At halftime, we kind of just all got together, talked it through in the locker room, came out, sparked it up together, and yeah, got the dub. I think I just tried to stay as positive as possible. We had a couple guys that were down on themselves, which it happens, but knowing that if I'm a good teammate, and spark other guys up, that those shots start falling, and so will mine.
We started hitting shots. We started playing really good defense, and then it all fell in.
So Blaine, the top seed, take care of business in the first two rounds in sections, and they're on to their first section title game appearance in 7 years. The boys program, we talked about the 16-year state tournament drought snapped by the girls. The boys haven't been to state since 2016, a current 9-year drought they hope to snap on Thursday night coming up in their home gymnasium against Andover. Blaine, after cruising out to a 7-0 start against section opponents in the regular season, they hit a speed bump in their rematch with the Andover Huskies back on February the 12th when the Baby Blues were routed 102-74. That was after they beat the Huskies in the first go-around 74-52 way back when in the season opener. The Bengals and Huskies will play a third time, this one with a trip to the state tournament on the line on Thursday, and we will have the call for you on that one coming up on North Metro TV.
Boy, if you like offense, that is a game that you're going to want to tune into. That is a game that I think you're going to be very interested in. Let me put it that way. So that's going to be fun. It is a big week for Blaine basketball. Of course, as we mentioned, Wednesday, the state quarterfinal against Hopkins, and we were just talking about Thursday, the section final for boys basketball. So we'll have highlights of those two games coming up next week, as well as the first of our winter wrap-up shows where we're kind of welcoming in athletes from our area schools and talking about their seasons and kind of putting a bow. We got 2 more shows after this, so you know we're going to finish strong and our crew is going to finish strong. So we're really looking forward to bringing that to you. So he's Matt Dean. I'm Ted LaRue. We will see you on next week's edition of Sports Den.